everyone, here I am, your friend Data Guy, with another exciting video. Today we will be covering how to create dynamic dashboards in Excel. And I'm pretty sure you will find this very helpful and exciting things, especially if you are in the field of data analysis or you build reports. This will be very helpful to see. All right, so what is a dynamic dashboard? A dynamic dashboard in Excel is an interactive tool that allows users to analyze and visualize data effectively. The key features are live updating data, interactive slicers and filters, and data visualization. So if you are in your job where you create some reports and you would love to show your the aggregations of those in a form of charts where you present it to your leaderships in your meetings, etc., where you're making presentations, or for another or other reporting perspectives where you would like to create these dashboards which are very interactive so users can get their information very fast. This is where the dynamic dashboards will come very handy, which you'll see in a minute once we actually switch to the Excel and we'll create one. All right, so what are the benefits? Just like I was already kind of touching upon, it provides real-time insights into key performance indicators. I'm sure you've heard about KPIs. It allows users to interact with data through slicers and filters, enhances data-driven decision making, and saves you time by automating those data analysis. And now what are the steps? And again, we will do this, we will create one. But just to go over what those steps involves is import and prepare data, convert the data into a structured table, create pivot tables and charts, add slicers and filters for interactivity, format and design the dashboards. So what would you do first? We'll prepare the data, because if you have been playing with data, you know it. The better clean data you have, it makes your life much easier. So it's always to clean the data, and we will take a look again what does it means. Store data in a structured Excel table, remove duplicates and correct formatting issues. So obviously if you have duplicates, it will impact the numbers you'll be showing on your dashboards. So then you create pivot tables and charts, insert a pivot table from the data set, add necessary fields to the pivot table depending upon what exactly you're trying to show, and then insert charts based on those pivot table data, and then format those. And step 3 would be the add slicers and filters. If you know what slicers are, we will go through those, and if you don't, we will still cover what exactly those slicers are, what are the benefits, and what exactly you can use it for. And then some of your next steps will be, after we will cover this thing, you will know how to create a dynamic dashboard. At least you'll have an idea, because again, none of these features or functions, it's something you can just learn within few minutes. But the idea is, if you understand how to start building one, then you can expand upon them, and from there you can have all these different functionalities you can create. So a step-by-step process to create an interactive Excel dashboard, how to use pivot tables, charts, and then really it comes with practice. The more you'll practice, the more you will know how to do it. All right, so this is just the agenda, what we will be doing. So let me switch to now an Excel file, and we can start going from there. So here's some of the sample data sets I have here, where I put some salespeople, which region they work in, what product they're selling, and then how much units they have sold by on a particular day, and then the unit price. Total sales really is the units times the price, and that would be 200 in this case. So what we discussed about cleaning up and making sure there are no duplicates, etc. So you want to make sure your data set does not have for a sale of Michael Brown another line on the fourth with same information, etc., because then it will skew your numbers. So you just want to make sure there's no duplication in the data. Another thing what we talk about is your dates, because this if you're trying to show any kind of timeline, your date will, or this formatting will make sure that you have the correct ways working. Other, if let's say, a lot of times you will see when you get the data, the date is not in a really in a date format. They may be in a text format, and then when you're trying to create some kind of timeline, time charts, it may not work. So what you want to make sure is that is format in the date field. So one way of doing it, you highlight this thing, you come here, and then you make sure it's in the date format. Similar thing, if you notice, this is your currency. So so what you can do is make sure you come here, and then you convert into currency. You can click on currency. You can even click on this dollar amount. It will do the same thing. So different ways of doing the same stuff. And if you notice, it's showing the 2 decimal places. Maybe you don't care about in your data that is the decimal place is not relevant. So you can remove the decimal places or round it up to the nearest dollar. Basically, that's what you did. So now that you have made sure that your data is clean, the next step you will see is you'll create or convert this into a table. Now there are different ways you can do this. Again, there's in Excel, you'll be surprised the more, and there's so many short keys, so many shortcuts you can do. So I'll show a couple of ways how you can basically convert this particular your data set into a table. One thing would be you can come here, click on insert, and then you click on table, and you will see this dialog box pop in. It by default automatically Excel picks it up. This is where your date range, table ranges for the data based upon looking. After that, they're just like blanks. You can do this way, and you make sure you check this box that the top one is your headers. Another way would be you inside here, you do Control T, and if you notice, it's the same function. It's a shortcut, keyboard function. Control T as in Tom to convert this into a table. Either way, it'll do the same thing. So when I click on OK, you will see it convert into a table. So that's the first step. Now, second thing is to convert this into a pivot table. So how do you do that? Some of you may already know how to convert or create a pivot table. Maybe some don't. So the way you do it, if you look on your ribbon of your Excel file, so you have home, and then you have insert. When you click on insert, where you actually went to create or convert this into a table, since it's already table, so it's grayed out. But here's your pivot table. If you click on pivot, now it's saying that you can convert this into a pivot table, and you can say OK, and here it put into give you a new sheet to create pivot table. Now it depends upon what you're trying to do. So let's create a pivot table. First one for the region. We'll create a couple of different ones. So here you have, excuse me, you have 4 regions, and then how much sales you have done. A very simple, clean, this chart of this thing. And then let's suppose you want to create another one with the showing the same sales data, but based upon the salesperson. Another view, another chart you would like to, because again on your dashboard you may have different views, or giving to your leadership how much sales by the product, by the region, by the salespeople you're doing. So what we will do is, and here's another shortcut. You can create a new pivot table if you like it to be. So you can go here again and create a new pivot table. Another way would be if you click here while inside being a pivot table, and you come here, it says select. If you click on entire pivot table, see how it's highlighted, and you can do Control C, which means copy. You come here and you click here and you press. Now you got another pivot table basically created. On this one, so here you have, here's the data source. Now this one you may want to remove this region, and if you bring in your salespeople. So there's a quick way of creating a pivot table from your same data source, but you just switched. So here you have one pivot table created by the region. Here you have one by the salespeople, right? Now what if you want to create another one by, let's say, product, right? Which product and how much sales you've been doing. So you can click on, again, inside here, click on here, pivot table analyze, select entire pivot table, Control C, and now let's see, you come here and do Control V to paste, and you can see you have another one. On this one, let's see, you can remove the salesperson and you bring in by the product. There you go. So you can see, if we go by, so we can say, here we can say sales by region, right? Here you can see sales by sales people, or sales team rather, right? And the third one you can say is sales by product. So you have different views now. Let's say you have this and you also want to create a chart for this thing. So if you click here anywhere, let's take the first one. You have this one here, and you would come to create a chart based upon that. You will come to insert, and here you have different charts you can create. One thing I always say, if you're not sure, you can come here and say recommended charts. So if you notice, Excel by default is telling you these could be a great chart for this particular word based upon the information you have. So if you click here, it created a chart, right? So you can kind of make sure that this is all lining up pretty nice and it's making sense and arranged really neatly. You can do certain things like these. You can move them around here a little bit. Now for this one, again, you would come here because now you want to create a chart, same syllabus, you want to show them views by sales by the salespeople. So you can do, again, come here on insert, recommended again, and you can do this one, right? So click OK. So now you have another view by this of the sales, how much sales been done by each salespeople. So if you, right now I'm just trying to make sure they're all lining up pretty nicely, right? Then you have the third one here by the product. So we can do, again, insert, chart. I mean, you can select, let's say you choose by the line, right? Again, there are different things you can do. You can do by the pie if you like to be. So it depends on what you're trying to show, how interactive you're trying to make your, or what information which gives the best, information by visualization, the similar data. So here you have this, and let's see, kind of align them all into one. So you have this right here, right? Now, something very basic, very simple, but just to give you an idea how you can create those dashboards. Let's do one thing. What we'll do is insert few rows to move the data a little bit down, and you'll see in a minute why I'm doing this thing. So let's say you have all these charts and you're trying to make them all lining up nice next to each other. So let's see if we can bring this one here next to each other. So you see in a minute why I'm doing this thing. So let's say you have these right here, 3 different charts, right? You have one by sales by the region, the first one. You have sales by the salespeople, and you have the sales by products. And you can do the labeling. You can, create right here. You can call it, oops. You can do sales by region. You can even name those if you like to be. Now, where I'm going with this is, we talked about slicers. So what is slicer, right? So a slicer is literally a filtering tool that allows you to quickly filter the data in pivot tables or pivot charts, right? How do we create slicer? You'll see the power of it in a minute. And the reason I created these 3, because what you can do, you can connect those slicers. So let's create one first so you'll know. So let's see if we click on insert again, and you can see on the here, right here, it says slicer. So if you click on slicer, right, you go right here. So sorry guys, I had to put myself on mute. I'm still trying to get over my cough. So we were looking to create slicers. So you will click here, and then if you come here, click on slicers. Here you have all these different options popped up, right? So you can say you would like to select slice by, let's say, salesperson. You click OK. And you see how a filter pops up here. And let me see if I can move this a little bit here. Or let's see if we can insert a couple of more lines so that the whole filter we're able to see it. There we go, much better. All right, so we have one slicer created by the salesperson. Click here. Let's how about we insert another slicer by the date. Now you have by the date. So and then let's do one more. So we insert one more slicer based upon, let's say, by the unit sold, or how about product? Let's go this way. So we have this, and again, this is where you're building the dashboards, so you will know what exactly you're trying to show data when giving functionalities to your user, how they can slice and dice the data, right? So now what it means is, right now we will do one more thing. We want to make sure when we click anything inside here, it will interact with all three ones. Right now I chose from here. So if I click on Charles Manuel, if you notice, right, so this shows Charles in South, what for these particular date ranges, what he based upon the data is the sales he did. But if you notice, none of the other charts made any difference. So what we want to do is we will want to click here, and we come to, let's see, insert slicer, and let's see here, we will go to data. Let's see, trying to see slicer. Oh, right here, I'm sorry. So slicer. So once you are on click on slicer, you see this right here, report connections. You will click here, and basically you would say connect all your data sources. So you have 3 right now data sources. You click OK. Same thing, you come here, report connections, and you want to make sure all your these slices are connected to all your data connections, just like this. Now if I click on widget A, let's say, there you go. You notice how all 3 charts changed. So basically it's showing the sales of widget A. So right here is in notes section, and then all these sales people who sold widget A, whatever their, so basically sales are in the second one right here, sales of widget A product by each salesperson. And then if you notice here, oops, let me close this one. So basically you come here and hide. There you go. So it shows you the sales of widget A overall by the, let's see, what was our third one, was based upon the product. So product is only one, widget A. So if we remove this one, you can see it came back to all this. What if we only wanted to see on a particular date, on January 4th, right here? So January 4th as a region, we did $240 in sales. So right here, you have Michael Brown was the only one on January 4th who sold. So you have this right here. And then again, we have only one widget. So you have this here. So this is the power of, you can imagine otherwise if somebody wants to see it, they would either filter different things at different times, click on, so let me switch back here. So this is your data source, correct? So if you want to see on January 4th, so if you switch only to January 4th, you have Michael Brown widget A on, this is how much was sold. And then if you were to look at these different, if we sort by the date, you can see how it was done. But if we wanted to see, okay, how much Michael Brown have done sales in different days by even each region and which products he sold, so you have to do a lot of filtering, right? But instead, if we just want to see salesperson Michael Brown, and here you can have a really quickly, you have the breakdown by the region, what's the total sales, and then of course, right now you see right here is all blank because we have not worked on creating the labels, etc. But you can see the whole idea about the slices, the power of slicing, how you can do really quickly. And when we say interactive, you can see how fast it is. If you want to see just by the widget, a particular widget, there you go, you can see that. If you only particular days or by, of course those are the ones we have chosen here. If you have a different criteria in the slicer, it would have done the same or presented you the information with the same criteria based upon the filters you had. So that's really the power of dynamic dashboard. And when we say it's interactive, it's live, what it means. So we covered, if we summarize what we covered, first of all is we make sure our data is clean, data is formatted the way we like it to be. So in this case, we make sure the date is in the date format. We change the converted, or rather formatted the currencies into the currency format for this particular one. We converted our data into table. Then we created excuse me, some pivot charts. Apologies again. So we created the pivot charts, and then we create pivot tables and charts, and then we created some slicers, and we checked how the slicers work and the formatting, and how these interactive tools of the slicers making real-time updates on these charts. So I hope this helps to understand the concepts. It's by far in no way it's the most comprehensive of way of if you look at it, it may not be the best dashboard either. But again, the concept here is not to create the best looking dashboard in this particular video. The idea here is to at least show how to even start building dashboards. The more and more your time will spend, you can do the formatting, you can choose the coloring. So here, this one quick one is, here's the color. Would you like to have a different color here? You can choose those. If you like to rather have a style difference, so if I go back and maybe there's some of these ones right here, right? What if I want to convert into this one? A little bit better looking, or what if I choose this way? So there's so many things can be done, right? There's not one way of doing it. But the idea is, first one is here, we know how to create one. Once you can create one, then it's just amazing how much options you have. I mean, you can come here, you can click, if you notice here, you can change, make them all look pretty. Maybe you can want to have a different color for each one of your slicers here, right? You have this. You can move them around. You can align them better. You can add the labeling, what exactly it do, all those different things you have. So slicer settings you can see here. So there's so much functionalities. I mean, I can go on and on for hours, but the concept here is to give you the basic foundation. If somebody is interested in start building those dynamic dashboards, how do you even start? What exactly you will do? What are the things you start making sure that they are being taken care of, like removing the duplicates, making sure the data is formatted correctly, and then you create those pivot tables, and then I mean, this may be not the best way of doing it. So what if, can I put them all into one here? So you can show all these things. What is the best user-friendly dashboard there is you're building? But that will come with practice. That will come with your understanding of your audience. That will come who your stakeholders are, what exactly they're looking for. So there's a bunch of information which we can cover for hours, but hopefully you get the understanding of how you can start creating the dynamic dashboard. What exactly dynamic dashboard even gives you? This power of slicers, the power of pivot tables, and then these charts, understanding those really quickly, what those are, right? So if you, one more really quick one, what if you were creating a time chart, right? So if I would come here, do really quickly and do one more, let's see, entire pivot table, copy this here, paste it. Oops, I think I did not copy it, that's why. So let's try one more time. Click here, select entire pivot table, Control C, and then Control V. But in this case, what if I, let's see, field list. In this one, I would like dates to be here instead of this one, right? Now if I convert this into a chart, just to have really quickly show you right here, you can see based on your whole each day what your sales have been. If somebody is interested, how are we performing daily, or have been going up and down, or just certain days our sales were much better. This will give you a really quickly visual of those things. So again, there's so many things you can do based upon the data you have, based upon the things your people who you are creating these dashboards for, the things that are important to them, that are more valuable, that they would like to have a really quickly snapshot and without having going into the details. This gives them that. So I really appreciate you guys taking time, and these are the videos that you would like to watch them again and again. You're not going to be able to capture everything at once, but if you start following, I would recommend, if somebody who's brand new, to watch this video, open up a blank spreadsheet and try to follow these, come up with your own data sets and see how it matters or what needs to be changed based upon the things you're trying to do. Once again, thank you very much everyone for listening, watching this video. If you feel like this is giving you some valuable information, my only request as always, please like and subscribe my channel, like these videos, and please provide your feedback in comments. The things are you feeling that you're learning something? Is this something valuable? Is there a particular function, feature of Excel or any other data analysis things that you like to learn or would like me to make videos about? I would really appreciate it. So thank you again. Looking forward to talk to you guys in my next video. Till then, take care and we'll see you again. Bye.